present Philadelphia Phillies baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
Sure, the sights and atmosphere during spring training in Clearwater, Florida is tough to top in the month of March. But it's now April, 3 days from opening day, and being back in the ballpark in South Philly is the only place to be. It is good to be home here at Citizens Bank Park as the Phillies wrap up spring training baseball with an on-deck series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Phillies looking for their 13th win this spring tonight at Citizens Bank Park. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Chris Wheeler. Happy to be back in South Philadelphia. We'll be even happier when the season gets underway, but it's nice to get things rolling with this on-deck series. And for some of the players, Wheels, it's still nice to get some spring training at bats and also get some innings.
Well, there's still some jobs, Tom. You know, this is a strange year for the Phillies. The last few years, it seems like it's been pretty cut and dried, especially by the time you got back up here. But right now there's some decisions in the bullpen. They could be adding another left-handed pitcher. We're going to know pretty soon. Joe Savory did a really good job down there, the young guy. Raul Valdez has had some major league experience. He also was very impressive, as you see the numbers right there. So, you know, there's some decisions on offense, there's decisions on pitching right now, and pretty soon we're going to know them. But it has been a little bit different spring.
Asked Charlie Emanuel today about the number of pitchers he's going to keep. He said, I'm not sure yet. He said, we'll find out tomorrow. One guy we know he is going to keep is Juan Pierre. And earlier today, Greg Murphy got a chance to catch up with one of the newest Phils.
All right, thank you very much, T-Mac. Yes, with one of those new faces, a guy who found out very late in the spring that he was going to be a part of the Philadelphia Phillies, Juan Pierre. Good to have you up here in Philadelphia, and you did. You found out very late, so what was that like knowing that you were coming north with the team?
It felt good. You know, that was one of my goals, just going into spring training, just try to make the team, just get an opportunity to get some spring training at bats, and it worked out well, and, you know, I guess they were happy with what they saw to have enough trust in me to come up north with them, and hopefully I can continue to play well for them.
Baseball fans who have watched you over the years know what your game is all about, and that's really important here in Philadelphia. I think that's one of the reasons, obviously, you're here is to bring that kind of game. So what kind of role do you think that you'll have here?
Whatever role they want me in. If it's pinch running in the ninth, playing defense, spot starting, whatever role they want me in, you know, I would just want to be ready and available. Yeah, it's no secret what I do. You know, I'm not a power guy. You know, I bunt, steal, and get on base and do those type things. And, you know, hopefully I'll get a chance to, you know, help the team with that ability. But whatever role they want me in, I'm not picky. You know, like I said, my goal was just to make the team, and now it's just to stay up here and do whatever they need me to do.
All right, Juan Pierre, welcome to Philadelphia, and good luck this season.
All right, thank you so a lot.
All right, guys, we'll send it back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. Juan Pierre, .368 batting average so far this spring. He has been on a torrid pace the last couple of days. He'll be in the starting lineup tonight, and he will face, well, a guy that Philly fans probably don't know too much about. It's Tony Watson as the bullpen for the Pirates will get some work tonight against Joe Blanton. Blanton will start the season in the pen for the Phillies. He'll be making his 5th start this spring. Well, the Buccos are in town. They've brought some fans with them as well. Some are more sensible than others. The lineups and first pitch when we return. to say that here in Philadelphia. The Phillies and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Game 1 of 2 in this on-deck series on a cool evening here in South Philadelphia. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off in left field, Alex Presley. Right fielder, Jose Tabata, bats second. Andrew McCutchen hits third, followed by Neil Walker and Garrett Jones. Rod Barajas bats sixth. In the bottom third of Alvarez, Barmes, and Tony Watson will make the start for the Pirates, and they'll face Phillies right-hander Joe Blanton, who is ready to go. And the first pitch of the night to Alex Presley is in there for a strike, so we're underway. Joe will start the regular season in the bullpen. He'll be technically the Phillies' 5th starter. And he's high with the next pitch. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. See Blanton's numbers this spring. This will be his 5th start this spring. 13 strikeouts and 15 innings of work. Pretty good breaking pitch.
Yeah, first time you do a game after spring training, it always seems funny how far away you see. You know, those games, you're right on top of everything. And last time Joe pitched, you see the scouting report on him, he was really having trouble with his location. He had good innings, bad innings, and he got hit hard. In other innings, he looked pretty good.
Oh, that was a good pitch in the kitchen of Presley. It's into foul territory for Polanco. 1 away on this windy night.
Yeah, and cold, too. And it's a kind of night that pitchers like and hitters don't. The only thing pitchers don't like about cool nights is the ball can feel a little bit slippery for them. But they know that hitters do not like a pitch like he just threw to Presley.
See the breeze coming in, as everybody knows around the area. That's been the kind of day we've had. Jose Tabata will be the hitter. Tabata's hitting .306 this spring. He'll be the everyday right fielder for the Pirates. He shows bunt, takes a strike. It's 0-1. Tabata last year was the everyday left fielder once the season began. He battled some injuries throughout the year. Pretty good talent, though. The guy they got from the Yankees organization. And they think with Presley in left, McCutchen in center, and Tabata in right, they've got a pretty, what they think will be a consistent outfield.
And they can run the ball down. The guys are all pretty good athletes. They have a lot of guys with potential, and that's what they're hoping. That you know, some of them can come through, and then, well, they would just like to get to 500. That guy right there is a star player on their team, Andrew McCutchen.
Ground ball towards shortstop. To his left is Rollins. He'll have to hurry the throw. It does. 2 outs here in the first.
A lot of things to talk about as you get started with a new season. Of course, this is a new field here. Everybody knows the NHL had their classic here, and then they had to replace the entire field. And they got very lucky because of the weather was so nice that the field took root, and it looks beautiful.
It does. It's Bermuda grass, as Mike Buchholder told us, the head groundskeeper during spring training, which is different than what they've had here previously. Andrew McCutchen's the batter, fooled on the first pitch. McCutchen, as you saw, had 3 home runs while down in Florida. And it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. McCutchen just signed a long-term deal with the Pirates, and for their fans, he's something to kind of hang on to. Because in previous years, when they had some young players, whether it be Jason Bay or Brian Giles, they weren't able to hold on to him. In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, that's part of what they're trying to do to attempt to turn some things around, is to sign these younger guys, keep them here. It's just strange. Pittsburgh has just not been able to make anything happen. They have a really beautiful ballpark, too.
Just missed off the inside corner, 3-2. Well, the players will wear T-shirts this year. Clint Hurdle said that will say finish, because they felt like they started well last year and they just didn't finish. And everybody knows that, because at the All-Star break, they were above 500. To the right side, Ty Wigginton picks it up on the short hop, feeds a hustling Joe Blanton, and the side is retired. Pretty easy inning for Joe Blanton. We go to the bottom of the first. Pirates nothing. Phillies coming up. Bank Park, and there have been a lot of them since Jim Thome left. But he is back in a Phillies uniform, not in the starting lineup today. And I'll tell you, for the fans, Murph, they saw him up on the big board a little while ago. They were pretty excited to see him back in Philadelphia.
You know, a very special part. Went out right where they left the ballpark, number 400, back on June 14, 2004. And as you said, earlier today, up-close look at Jim Thome. Came down to section 147. He shook some hands, and he took some photographs with the fans as well, just to say hi and the fans got to welcome back to Jim Thome. It's hard to believe, guys, that was 204 to go for the big guy.
It is remarkable. You know, throughout the night, not only tonight but also tomorrow, fans will get a chance to see some of their favorite Phillies at different parts of this ballpark, and that was a pretty neat idea to put him out there where he hit his 400th home run.
Yeah, what a night that was. Then we had a real long rain delay after that. And he said, yeah, want to make sure that home run counts after all that.
Juan Pierre leads it off for the Phillies, and the count is 1-1 strike to Pierre. What a last couple of days Pierre's had. Overall, he's hitting .368 this spring. He had another double yesterday.
They're playing him kind of deep, really, when you consider the wind's blowing in the way that it is. You could play even more shallow in left, and especially in center where McCutchen is.
Well, there you see the .368 batting average. Now, on some teams' wheels, that would lead the team in spring training. Not in the Phils.
Not when you get a guy that had 22 hits or whatever it was.
Yeah. Carlos Ruiz and Placido Polanco both ahead of Pierre. Pierre slaps it the other way. Presley misread it, and it goes out of his glove. Pierre heading over to second base. Here's the throw. Safe at second.
Wind's blowing in. You know, he's too deep. The wind's blowing in. It's going to knock the ball down, and that's what happened there. You know, you have to play the conditions and the hitter. And in that case, he could have come in 3 or 4 more steps. It would have been an easy play. This is what Juan's going to do. He's going to has that magic wand. He'll hit it the other way a lot, but ball has to be caught, and then he can still run. He stretches into a double.
So the Phillies have a runner in scoring position right out of the chute here in the bottom of the first, and here's Placido Polanco, who we mentioned has had himself a torrid spring. .444 with 6 RBIs and 7 runs scored. Tries to go the other way, and it's 0-1.
Well, that's why he's such a good 2-hole hitter, because of that right there. The odds are he's going to hit the ball the other way, and or at least he sure will try to.
Charlie Manuel has not settled on his lineup yet, but one thing that is pretty settled is that Polanco will be in the 2-hole. At least it seems that way. He does go the other way, just foul.
Well, if Polanco is healthy and can play, they want him to hit 2.
And then when that guy comes back, they'll want him to hit 3. Utley, that is. Chase will be with the team for these next couple of days. Will probably go to Pittsburgh with the team. And because of Chase's absence, Jimmy Rollins, who's in the on-deck circle, looks like he will begin the year for Charlie Manuel as the number 3 hitter, which is really where he began last year. 0-2 the count to Polanco. Pulls it foul, and it remains 0-2.
Now, of course, it gets a lot tougher when you're trying to hit the ball to the right side, even though a guy like Polanco can do it. A lot of times a pitcher and a catcher will try and throw something to speed his bat up a little bit right now, because they know that he's going to be a little more anxious. Still thinking about hitting the other way, but has to protect with 2 strikes. You have more of a tendency then to roll one over and not get the guy over to third.
Lifts it in the air to center. McCutchen's got a pretty good arm. Pierre's going to tag. McCutchen played back on it. Pierre's going to try. The throw is offline. Well, Pierre's on third. Let's take a look at the rest of the Phillies lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Jimmy Rollins, Hunter Pence, and Shane Victorino. Then Ty Wigginton is in the 6th hole. Carlos Ruiz is batting 7th. Freddie Galvis will bat 8th, and Joe Blanton, of course, will hit 9th. And here is Jimmy Rollins. They're facing left-hander Tony Watson, a 26-year-old from Omaha, Nebraska, former 9th-round selection. He's had an up-and-down spring, but he has a chance to be on their opening day roster.
These are the runs you have to get now. This is the way the Phillies are going to have to play a little bit more this year. You get a leadoff double. Polanco gets them over with a fly ball. They're giving you a run with the infield. You don't ever play the infield up in the first inning. So they're going to give you a run here, and you could have a 1-0 lead.
See Rollins' numbers this spring: 241, 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in.
Jimmy is a good situation hitter. He understands the game so well. And if he doesn't produce here, it's not because he's not trying or thinking the right way.
He's ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. 3-0 the count. Mentioned that Tony Wilson has a chance to make the Pirates roster as a relief pitcher. He'll pitch maybe 1 or 2 innings depending on his pitch count tonight. The Pirates are going with their bullpen tonight and James McDonald, one of their starters, tomorrow. Their rotation is banged up right now. Charlie Morton, A.J. Burnett, both banged up. Rollins, 3-0 green light, lifts it to center field. Deep enough for Pierre. McCutcheon's there. He makes the catch, and the Phillies are going to have a 1-0 lead. Pierre coasts home. It's a sacrifice fly for Rollins. 2 outs here in the first.
Good baseball. And as you said, Tom, a 3-0 green light. Charlie gave it to him, figuring, well, okay, maybe I can get a fly ball out of him here. And Jimmy can drive the ball to the outfield. Even with his wind blowing in the way that it is, he got a fastball, hit it plenty deep enough.
So Pierre started it with the double and scores on Rollins' sac fly. At 2 outs, and it leaves things for Hunter Pence. Pence 278 with 11 runs batted in this spring. For a batting practice today, very positive. He felt like things were clicking at the right time, as he said. Watch it from behind the cage. He had 2 balls that started out toward left center because of the wind. They sliced like a bad drive over towards center field. It was really wicked to watch from behind home plate.
Well, that's what you're going to get with that wind blowing out of the northwest tonight from left to right.
1 ball, 1 strike the count to Pence. Fouls it away, 1-2. Our first solid catch of the season right there.
It's funny how people, when they get a baseball, they read it. You want to see what's on it. And a lot of times you have people saying, I can't believe it's dirty. How come it's so dirty? You got to rub that mud on it before the game. They do downstairs to take some of that slipperiness away.
Danny O'Rourke, one of the Phillies clubhouse attendants, takes care of that. There's a bullet foul.
Yeah, Danny runs the umpire's room, and that's one of his chores. And there's a skill in that too. You have to learn how to do it the right way. You see sometimes if they're rubbed up a little differently, you'll see certain pitchers will be throwing them out all night.
Well, Jamie Moyer's not here anymore, but he was the guy that did it more often than anybody. Pence has brought the count back full, 3-2. Rod Barajas behind the plate, still gets booed every time he's introduced here at the ballpark.
Yeah, that'll never change.
Nope. In the air to right center field. Tabata, a few steps from the track, is there and makes the catch. So the Phillies settle for a run on the sac fly by J-Roll. We've completed 1. On to the second here at Philly. But the Phils up 1-0. We go to the top of the second. Kentucky grad Joe Blanton on the mound. Throw maybe 5 innings tonight. His Wildcats will play for the national championship tonight against Kansas. And the first pitch to Neil Walker's outside.
Probably be busy after the game tonight. You'll want to watch that.
Battle of John Calipari against Bill Self. Well, I guess it's more players against players.
Yeah.
But
well, in college, you're a big college basketball guy. You're around it all the time. Everything I hear and read about his coaches are really important in that
very
sport.
important. Although Kentucky has a lot of NBA potential.
Yeah.
So they may play on their own.
Well, they can make a coach look a little better, too. Those kind of guys that go to college for 1 year.
Neil Walker's the batter. Walker's numbers this spring, fresh off a year in which he had 12 home runs at 159 games for Pittsburgh. Out in front, 2-2 the count.
Good changeup behind in the count.
Walker will be the everyday second baseman, not only this year, but they hope for a long time. He was fooled by that 2-seamer, and I think Alan Porter, the home plate umpire, may have been fooled too.
Yeah, he really wanted that one.
3-2 the count.
Right-handed pitcher throws that kind of pitch with 2 strikes, and they really surprise him. Left-handed batter.
Got him. Good pitch, kept it down in the zone. Another changeup. 1 out here in the second. Hey, Will, subscribe to MLB.TV Premium today and get every regular season game live or on demand on your favorite devices. Visit Phillies.com for details. So 1 away, and Garrett Jones is the batter. Jones tried to check his swing. They'll peel. No swing. Mike Estabrook is the third base umpire. He just said no swing. Ground ball right side. Wigginton backs up. And another 3-1 putout. So far, so good for Joe Blanton.
Well, he has really good command of his pitches tonight. He mentioned the last time out he didn't think he did. A little bit. But tonight, he looks like he's throwing everything where he wants to. His changeup's good. His curveball's good. Spotting his fastball. And I would think Rich Doobie looking on there would be very pleased with what he's seeing from Blanton.
And we mentioned that during the regular season, Joe Blanton will eventually get into the rotation. But to start, he'll be working out of the bullpen. Rod Barajas, the hitter, and he takes a strike. I asked Rich Doobie, I said, so in what role? He goes, whatever role we need.
Yeah. Well, that's why pitching depth is so important on a team. To have guys like Blanton and Kendrick that can do different things.
Pretty good curveball there to Barajas. There's Kyle. Kyle has some extra friends in the bullpen tonight. Brian Sanchez sitting next to him. David Herndon in front of him.
Yeah, some of those guys will probably be headed to Lehigh Valley.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Barajas takes over this year as the Pirates' everyday catcher. Ryan Doumit is now with the Minnesota Twins. Chris Snyder is no longer in Pittsburgh. And a little looper, foul. Barajas last year played for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And he hits one to center field right at Victorino. The wind brings a little bit. And another easy inning for Joe Blanton. 6 up, 6 down for Joe. We played 1.5 here at Philly. Good to be home with the Phils up 1-0. Ricky Metallico and Ben Davis preview the upcoming Phillies season and answer questions about the pitching rotation and the final roster moves. Don't miss Phillies Focus, presented by Schuylkill Valley Sports. Tonight at 11, only on Comcast Sportsnet. See those Fanatic hat wheels? Those Fanatic hats right there? Get those at the Majestic Clubhouse.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that a new item this year?
It is one of the new items, one of the many items.
That looks like kind of the things that people would make up on their own. Yeah. Would show up over the years.
Evan Meek will be the new pitcher for the Pirates. Get used to this, folks. We're probably seeing one and done for a lot of these pitchers. Pirates have brought a lot of their AA players with them to Philadelphia because they'll leave here and go to where, Wheels? To begin the AA season in the Eastern League.
State College.
Close, but no. Altoona.
Altoona, that is close.
Yeah.
The Curve.
Yeah, so Clint Hurdle has a number of guys on his roster. And the Phillies, meanwhile, they have guys that'll most likely go to Lehigh Valley. I don't think anybody's going to go to Reading or to Clearwater or Lakewood.
Who's in Altoona? What organization?
The Pittsburgh Pirates.
I thought they were in State College.
That's single A. Here's Victorino. He may be able to leg it out for a triple. And he will. Standing.
That's right. They are in State College, but that's later in the year.
That's exactly right.
Boy, Shane really nailed this thing. First pitch he sees, and he hits a bullet into the gap in right center field. And he sees triple right away. He's on his own at this point. He takes a look out there, and once he hits second base, now he's supposed to look up and look for Juan Samuel. But he knows he can win there standing up. And Sammy agreed.
Quadruple double last year for Victorino. Double digits in home runs, doubles, triples, and stolen bases. There's a triple here, and the first pitch to Ty Wigginton is upstairs. Wigginton 180 this spring. Check swing. 2-0 the count. They appeal. No swing.
Another run for the taking right now. Of course, this time there's nobody out. So everybody's back. Ground ball here, fly ball, and you have another run. Hitters should love these situations. A lot of them do, and others press. It's just an individual thing, but they know that they have an easy ribby if they can just make contact. At least for the most part. If they hit a liner at somebody, well, that's the way it goes.
Just hit it hard.
Right.
Ground ball back toward the middle. That'll get a run home. Walker handcuffed a little bit. It's an RBI for Wigginton as Victorino crosses the plate. 2-0 Phillies.
Victorino had to be careful there, and it was good base running on his part. See him hesitate because you have to make sure that ball goes by the pitcher. And Meek had a chance to catch that thing, and now all of a sudden he's hung out to dry, and you got a rundown. Now watch how he has to. The one thing you have to do here is you have to read it. See right there, a little hesitation. Okay, by the pitcher, now I can score.
Oh, now with one away, here comes one of the Phillies' hottest hitters this spring. And that's Carlos Ruiz. And Ruiz takes up and in, 1 ball and no strikes. Carlos hitting .500 with 2 home runs this spring.
He's hit it hard too.
Yeah,
it's not one of those blooper little bleeders in the infield.
Ground ball to third, big hop for Alvarez. 2 outs.
Hit it hard all over the place down in Florida.
Phillies as a team came into this ball game with a .283 batting average, which is good for second in the National League in spring training. Does that surprise you?
It did seem like they had games with a lot of hits.
16 the other night in that loss to the Yankees.
Yeah, they just, they didn't hit with a lot of power, so they didn't score a whole lot of runs. But they did hit. But those games, you get to this point and you look at spring training stats, and they're so funky, those games. Like when are you picking up the hits? Who's getting them? And pretty soon, throw them all away.
Little looper down the left field line. Ooh. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, let's take a look at our Toyota spring report. And with that, you'll see the record for the Phillies, 12-16-4, 283 average, 139 runs in those 32 games. Just 23 home runs. We've talked about that. That's kind of low for spring training. But the Phillies didn't have Chase Utley. They didn't have Ryan Howard.
And the same way with the ERA. They had a bunch of games near the end of spring training where guys were giving up runs that, you know, not even close to going to be on this team.
Freddie Galvis trying to hustle out an infield hit. He's retired by Neil Walker. So the Phillies get another run, and they do so by playing, I guess, a little small ball. Victorino scores from third easily. It's 2-0 Phils. Be in town, we'll play a good game, then we'll go get something to eat. 4-game series. Friday, April 27th is when it starts. Sunday, the 29th is the Fanatics' birthday. It's brought to you by Citizens Bank, a free Fanatic bank for fans 14 and under. And then, speaking of eating, the Hatfield Dollar Dog Night on Monday the 30th. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. See, that guy didn't realize that he was on television. He was looking to be on the video board wheel, so he closed up his fork before we were done with the promo.
It was very clever, though.
It's being seen by millions.
This work was pretty cool.
Pedro Alvarez will lead it off for the Pirates. Alvarez hitting a .163 this spring.
Yeah, and therein lies a problem for the Pirates, because this is a guy that they...
Well, they need him. Hunter Pence will take care of him here.
Yeah, they staked a lot of their future on Pedro Alvarez. Not only drafted him #1 overall, but at his development stage, he should be better by now, and he's not.
Well, and if you drove to Pittsburgh, or if you're going to go to Pittsburgh this weekend, and if you want to get involved in some of the sports talk, all you got to do is bring up his name.
And Joe made a good pitch on him there too. He started with a changeup, and then he ran something in on his hands and got him to break the bat in two.
Here's Clint Barmas. He'll be the everyday shortstop for the Pirates. He takes a strike. Last year, Barmas played for the Astros. 296, no homers, 4 runs batted in. He was at one time the everyday shortstop for the Rockies, but then Troy Tulowitzki came along, and Barmas had to shift over to second base. He wasn't a bad second baseman either.
And he showed, early in his career that he could hit a little bit. And Clint Hurdle was his manager when he first came up, and he wanted him here with him now.
Lifts that one behind first. Wigginton, boy, look at the wind. It really took that. No chance for Wigginton or Galvis to make the play. 0-2 the count.
Yeah, anything hit out that way is going to go towards the foul line.
Ty Wigginton, who's been playing a little first base this spring, some third, some second. There's the big piece, Ryan Howard sitting next to John Mayberry in the dugout. Both of those guys could be playing a little first base this year. Barmes out in front of a breaking ball up the first base line. 2 outs.
Well, he's got everything going for him tonight. His breaking ball, his curveball is really good, and his changeup's outstanding. Here's another curveball to a right-handed batter, and it has really good tumble to it. And you can see he got Barmes to pull off and hit a weak popper.
Well, we've got a pinch hitter for the Pirates. If you're scoring at home, it'll be number 81. And a swing and a miss, and it's no balls and 1 strike. It's Matt Curry. We told you that the Pirates will probably do one and done for a lot of their pitchers. Curry takes up high. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
And they're going to run a lot of bullpen guys out there tonight, and then probably some kids.
Matt Curry, 6'1", 219. He's out of TCU. 16th round selection in 2010 by the Pirates.
Another changeup to the left-handed hitter, and he gets it over.
Juan Cruz will be the next pitcher for the Pirates. There he is. He's made the club, the veteran. And a called strike 3. Beautiful breaking pitch on the outside part of the plate for Joe Blanton. And Blanton is perfect through the first 3. 9 up, 9 down for Joe Blanton. And he has everything working as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Brought to you by Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by W.B. Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. Bottom of the 3rd. 2 pitchers already in the book for the Pirates. And here's their 3rd. Juan Cruz, the veteran. 10th ball game this spring. A 1.93 earned run average. We mentioned Cruz will be on the opening day roster for Pittsburgh. Joel Hanrahan will be their closer. But Juan Cruz, at one point, Cubs thought he would be a closer, thought he could be a starter, thought he could be a setup guy. He's been around for a while.
Well, this is a guy with more strikeouts than innings pitched in his major league career. 626 strikeouts in 619 the 3rd inning, and that's what he was. And he was a fastball changeup guy when he first came up. And he had one of those seeds squirting out of a great changeups. His arm would go 100 miles an hour, it looked like, and here would come the ball. And he was really effective. He looked like you said, everybody that got him thought he was going to be their closer of the future.
Or starter.
Yeah. But he was more, to me, a closer because fastball changeup combination is a closer.
Last year in 56 games for the Rays, he was 5-0. See his fastball there at 90 to Joe Blanton. He's now 33 years old. He's out of the Dominican Republic. One ball, 1 strike the count to Joe Blanton. Phillies pitchers will have a contest much like they had last year. Pete Mackanin is going to get us the rules and the guidelines for that concert. There's been some change for the contest.
I meant to ask him about, because he said he was going to give us the
today.
rules. Did you? He said he would give us the rules. Yeah,
he's going to have it all printed up for us.
Yeah, there was some controversy about certain things last year about whether they should hit in certain it's just
they've made some changes.
Little things, that they decided to make some changes.
2-1 the count to play. And he takes the knees 2-2. Cole Hamels won last year.
And I personally figured it was Cliff Lee won it because of the homers, but there's little subtle things in there. They have a lot of fun with it.
There's Pete,
who was a lot of fun.
Blanton works the count full, 3-2. Last time Cruz pitched in the National League was back in 2008. For his major league career, he's 2 games over 500, an earned run average of 4.13. Tapper back to the box. Blanton's retired, 1-3 on the putout.
His fastball used to be in the mid-90s with that changeup. What a separation he had.
Well, we talked about the players being in different spots around the ballpark the next couple of days. How about Greg Murphy? Murph, where are you?
Well, I found myself down here in the Phillies bullpen, and the fun just continues here at Citizens Bank Park for this on-deck series, because these two gentlemen next to me randomly picked as they walked into the ballpark today to have a seat here in the Phillies bullpen. I've got Adam and I've got Brian. Adam is from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, so just walking in today, and they got picked, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty exciting, I guess.
Yeah.
As Juan Pierre gets hit by the pitch, but he's striking down to first base, and he looks like he'll be okay. I'll check him out as he gets down there. You didn't expect, obviously, to be sitting with some of these guys, some of these great athletes, as you came here to watch the game, huh?
No way.
And Brian, you're from Riverside, California, right? So you've come a long way, but get a pretty exciting experience to bring back home.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff. And guys, I will tell you this, that Mick said Mick Billmeyer said if they get into any trouble, he might have to put these two in. So we'll wait and see if that happens. Who knows where you'll find yourself here at the Phil's game tonight.
Who knows? Thank you, Mark, very much. You should tell those youngsters to sit close to Mick, because they can learn a few things.
I would tell them that indeed. Absolutely.
Maybe he shouldn't sit too close to Mick.
Oh, it's all part of the experience. Placido Polanco's the hitter. Juan Cruz just asked Juan Pierre if he was okay, and he said yes.
Yeah, that was strange. Pierre turned around to bunt, or he fake a bunt, and that thing came right at him, and he was defenseless.
Pierre goes, the throw, offline, it hit Pierre, and it trickles into shallow left.
Taking a beating out there. That's what happens with base stealers. They take a pounding, because those are the things you don't think about, the throws that hit them, the hard tags. Here's the hit by pitch. He couldn't get out of the way. He tried to jump, and it wound up catching his back foot. And now here he goes. Got a pretty good jump there, and then gets nailed again. You steal bases, as many as he's stolen. You really have to be very physically tough, because they really get beaten up.
Well, he's in scoring position. The Phillies have scored a run in each of the first 2 innings. Pierre scored the first one. Then Victorino the last inning. Now Pierre's in scoring position with 1 out. Polanco has the count. No balls and 1 strike. Outside, 1-1.
It's a great time to steal third if you're thinking about it. When you steal third with 2 outs, it's not that big a deal. Steal third with 1 out, put a lot of pressure on the team. Pierre used to do that a lot to the Phillies. For those years he and Juan Castillo played together, it seemed like they were always on base. Luis Castillo, they were always, it seemed like second and third. You always had to play the infield in or play it back and give up a run.
Both players were similar to in their hitting styles. Castillo was a switch hitter, but they both would slap the ball.
Right, and could really run.
See the stolen bases for Pierre. Little number foul by Polanco, 2-2. In fact, Pierre 2 years ago, I know he didn't have a great year last year stealing bases. He stole 27, but 2 years ago he stole 68 bases.
Yeah. It's hard to tell right now. You know, he seems like he does get thrown out, and plays are closer than they used to be. But he's smart, and he can steal bases because he wants to, and he's a smart base runner.
2-2 the count to Polanco. And he goes the opposite way. Here comes Tabata, and he makes the catch. So Pierre goes back to second. Polanco's retired. That'll bring Jimmy Rollins to the play. Rollins will get a chance to bat left-handed here. He batted right-handed his first time out. He drove in a run with a sacrifice fly. Phillies and Pirates will play another one tomorrow night before both teams head to Pittsburgh. The Pirates after tomorrow's game, Phillies on Wednesday, and then they'll open on Thursday afternoon in Pittsburgh. It's supposed to be nice weather. Off day Friday and then a night game Saturday. Rollins pulls it down the right field line. If it's fair, it'll be another run. It's a fair ball. Rollins heading to second. He might think about three. He's around second, heading to third. Walker's thrown to third, right on line, and Rollins is out at third. And Rollins thought he might have gotten his hand in there. Might have been kidding, but the Phillies do score another run. The run, of course, counts. Jimmy Rollins with his second RBI. Pretty good play by Tabata to get to his cutoff man. Neil Walker made a strong throw. J-Roll with his second RBI. He may have gotten his hand in there. Washington Nationals are in town. It's a 3-game series that wraps up with the night game on Wednesday the 23rd. There is a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night sandwiched in there right in the middle. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets today. Washington Nationals, it looks like Jason Worth will be their starting center fielder, not right fielder.
Yeah, he's been hitting that ball pretty good. Actually, he put his hands back up. We'll get a chance to see him.
Oh, as we go to the top of the fourth, 3-0 Phillies. And Alex Presley will be the leadoff hitter against Joe Blanton. Blanton has faced 9. He's retired all 9.
Got to like the way that they're scoring runs early on. Getting them over, getting them in. Juan Pierre leading off for me gives them a little bit more dimension, especially in terms of really being aggressive running wise.
That ball's hit toward first. Nice play by Wigginton. Blanton is there to cover just in time. That's the third 3-1 put out of the night. And one away here in the fourth. All right, well, let's talk about Juan Pierre a little bit, Sarge, because as you mentioned, you like him in this lineup, and he's probably going to get himself some playing time against righties, but also his numbers are pretty good against left-handers.
Yeah, I think that'll probably all be predicated on Mayberry, on exactly how he's able to hit the ball. But Juan, he's a guy that's been there before. He knows when a ball is hit in a certain area, he's going to be going for two. He's always looking to get that extra base, if you will.
Well, and Charlie Manuel said to me today, he said, don't discount Pierre as a pinch hitter, particularly against left-handers. He said, if I need somebody to lead off an inning when we're down as a pinch hitter, that's his guy.
Yeah, he puts the ball in play, and especially on those soft pitches, soft left-handers, the guys that throw hard might give him a lot of trouble simply because he is a little bit older, but he keeps himself in good shape. That's for sure.
Well, there's the first hit of the night for the Pirates. A little bloop down the right field line. So Tabata has a one-out single. And that'll bring Andrew McCutchen to the plate. McCutchen grounded out to first his first time up.
This guy made himself into a pretty good player. Hits third in the lineup. He's a good athlete. He can run. He's got some power.
A lot of scouts feel like he's just scratching the surface too. His numbers are really good, but they're going to get better.
Yeah, and if he ever gets to where he has a lot of other players on the team that can help him out, he'll even be better.
Grounder toward third. That's a foul ball, and it's 0-2. So Tabata goes back to first.
Better the team, the easier it is to hit.
They think that with Presley leading off, they don't have to worry about the leadoff spot, at least to start, because that's a spot where McCutchen was at one point.
Yeah, I think you waste him when you put him in the leadoff spot, simply because this guy does have power, and you take away from his game, I think, by leading off. Now, if you got some other guys around him, maybe power hitters, you can lead him off.
Clint Hurdle, the manager of the Pirates.
He's versatile enough in your lineup, however, to hit in many places. He can hit second. That's just how good an athlete he is.
Runner goes, pitch is swung on and missed, and Ruiz has it slip out of his hand. So a strikeout for Blanton, a runner in scoring position for the Pirates. Third strikeout for Blanton.
Good old-fashioned fastball. Actually, it looked like a changeup as he threw in there. Look how McCutchen is looking back and said, boy, what was that? Usually pitchers will throw that heater coming inside, but he took some off of that pitch.
So with 2 outs and a runner at second, Neil Walker's the batter. Walker in the cleanup hole. One thing's for certain is that Blanton has really good command tonight. He wanted that pitch on the inner half, and it went to the inner half. And it's the same with just about every pitch he's thrown.
Yeah, well, he knows that he has to pitch inside to be effective. He can't live in there. Off-speed pitches he'll throw, and being able to spot the fastball, pretty good pitch. But mainly, though, he's in such terrific shape from when we first got him from Oakland. It seems each year he's getting in better and better shape.
Down the right field line. That'll hook foul and out of play. 1-2 the count. Walker struck out his first time up. I don't know if that was a clean catch, but it doesn't matter. It'll show up in the box score as one, and it'll also show up as a broken count, or at least a piece of it.
Everybody likes to raise that ball up too, and
you would too.
Oh yeah, well, show everybody that
you would raise it up, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, I would. But, yeah, that's the time to show off. after you catch it.
That's going to hurt.
Well, you notice how they went on and let him get it after it hit his hands, and hey, he's still getting high fives.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count to Neil Walker. And he nearly got him. Ball was foul tipped. Ruiz got a piece of Ruiz on that one. Phillies have a couple of catchers, obviously, with Brian Schneider and Tuffy Ghostwich available for tonight. A chance to see Tuffy probably at some point, whether it be tonight or tomorrow. Breaking ball lifted toward right. Here comes Pence. I don't think he saw it right away. Tabata's heading home. The throw slips under the glove of Wigginton and then gets away. It'll be an RBI for Walker. He'll go to second on the throw. And it's 3-1 Phillies.
It's a pretty easy ball to read. One of the reasons he was able to score, simple, that he was 2 out, so he knew right away. He didn't have to worry about being doubled up at all. Looked like, or appeared like, Ty Wigginton actually hit that ball where it kind of ricocheted over a little bit. But that's one of those, it's 2 outs. You have nothing to do but think about scoring. Once that ball is hit, you're taking off. Not even care where the ball is.
Well, now Garrett Jones with a runner at second. And Jones takes up high.
Yeah, you can see why it is, though. If you're going to cut it, you got to cut it, because other than that, you will have that runner go on like Walker did, advance to the next base.
Well, they charge an error to Hunter Pence. That ball's lifted toward right field. Backing up is Pence over his head. And another run will score. Jones goes to second. He'll be there. And it's a 3-2 ball game. So an RBI double for Garrett Jones. The inning is still alive for the Pirates. They've got the tying run in scoring position.
Yeah, these are the things you don't like once you get 2 outs. You can see that not good location. Jones gets extension. Very difficult ball for Hunter Pence in right field to catch. Almost an automatic double.
Well, and Pence is playing shallow because the wind is blowing in so sharply.
Yeah, that's a line drive, though. Even if he was back, though, and not over, that ball had a good chance of getting in. Now, you hate to see them score any runs after you get 2 outs.
0-1 the count to Barajas, who's 0 for 1. No balls and 2 strikes. Off the end of the bat, little flare to center field. Galvis going out. Victorino coming inside is retired. The Pirates do score 2 with 2 outs here in the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th, and Hunter Pence is due to lead it off for the Phils. by Xfinity, only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. And by Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com. Oh, bottom of the fourth. Doesn't matter how old you are, folks have been waiting for the Phillies to come home. So they get a chance to pay him a visit here tonight. Joel Hanrahan pays a visit for the Pirates. He's their closer. Ninth ball game, 3.38 earned run average. And he'll face 4, 5, and 6 for the Phillies here in the bottom of the fourth in a 3-2 ball game. Guy was a pretty good closer last year.
Yeah. Tell you what, though, I mean, their success that they had last year, obviously, he was a big part of it. But, you know, when you have a team and you've had that kind of success, you can't let a few games kind of ruin your season. And I thought after they end up losing that extra inning ball game there
to
in Atlanta, almost kind of changed their season, if you will. They were almost really feeling they were going to get into the playoff the way that they were actually playing, but they come into the season having a lot of confidence.
Well, they have a lot of confidence, and they're playing in a division, in all honesty, that is up for grabs.
No doubt about it.
Hunter Pence leads it off. Pence fly to right his first time up. Takes on the outside corner. That cutter, and it's 0-1. I say it's up for grabs because the Cardinals will begin this year with Chris Carpenter on the DL,
yep.
Alan Craig on the DL. They don't have Albert Pujols. They have a brand new manager. The Reds, well,
no closer.
No closer. Closer by committee. Sean Marshall, Aroldis Chapman has just been put in the bullpen. The Cubs are the Cubs lately. The Astros are the Astros. Okay. So it's open.
I'll say it's open. You know, and the team that gets hot, you know, the team that plays that consistent baseball, and then with the added wild card will help just about all the clubs, or at least keep the interest of their particular club all year long.
Pence tried to hold. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, for me in the Central, even without the closer, the Reds, with Latos coming over, with Cueto, I still think with their offense that they have. To me, they're the team to beat in the Central.
Yeah, it's the way the Cardinals, even though not having Carpenter, getting Wainwright back, they've been there. They have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They're going to be tough to beat.
Chip on their shoulder because they lost Pujols and La Russa?
Well, they lost Pujols and La Russa, and they really, people are saying that without those 2 guys, there's no way that you can win.
I'm raising my hand. I'm raising my hand. I'm one of those guys.
It's in that division, you're saying, huh?
Yeah, I just don't think you can replace Beltran or Pujols with Beltran. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
I mean, Wainwright being back helps.
Well, keep in mind, you let no one's going to be able to replace Pujols. Beltran is a very, very good player, and providing that he's healthy, he'll put up some numbers there, but he may not be the impact that you would have with a Pujols. They're a lot different type of leaders. Matter of fact, Beltran, I don't know if you would actually even call a leader. Certainly Pujols you would, but Beltran's no slouch.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Victorino. All right, let's mark it down. Sarge, Cardinals. Tom, Reds. Call Dusty and tell him.
Well, I mean, you got to have a closer. And for me, you got to have a closer, you know, even though we didn't have a closer years back.
Last year,
the fact is, though, if you have guys that can step up, like Bastardo, Stutes, it does make things a little bit easier for your club, because now those same guys are starting to get experience and starting to feel good about themselves. Their problem is to maintain it the whole season, which for me, Bastardo, even though he had a good year, at the end kind of teetered just a little bit.
2-2 the count to Victorino. With 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. 3-2, Phillies on top. Victorino tripled his last time up and scored. Opposite way. Alvarez to his left. He was shading that way. 2 outs. I don't know who Victorino's talking to. Maybe it's Hanrahan. I don't know.
He's always talking to somebody. If nobody listens, he'll just keep on talking like he's talking to himself. Always has a smile.
Leaves things for Ty Wigginton. Has an RBI tonight and a ground out.
Probably
ball, no strikes.
Sorry, Tom. Probably can't believe he was playing him right in the hole.
That could be it.
That's a base hit. He's telling him to get over there in your position where you belong.
It's been a slow start for Wigginton, although he picked up the RBI tonight. He has 6 RBIs this spring. Lifts that one to right field. Pretty well hit. Tabata's going back, warning track, and he makes the catch. Well, maybe there was a chance it had enough to get out or at least get to the wall. But the Phillies go down in order. So Hanrahan retires the Phils 1, 2, 3. We've completed 4. We go to the 5th with the Phils lead at 1. Top of the 5th inning at Citizens Bank Park. Hello, Gary Matthews. I'm Tom McCarthy. Joe Blanton still in the ball game. He'll face the bottom third. Pedro Alvarez, Clint Barmas, and then the pitcher spot. First pitch to Alvarez. It's foul. It's 0-1. Sarge, Alvarez has decided that he's no longer doing the toe tap that we've become so familiar with Jimmy Rollins. Part of that is because he's hitting a $160 this spring. He tried to, or he instituted or implemented the toe tap this past off season. Now it works for Jimmy and it's worked for him for a long time. But for some guys it's difficult to get the timing down.
Well, it is difficult because you are just tapping, and if you don't get the foot down, it's very difficult to be consistently hitting the baseball.
1-2 the count.
Well, and some guys can do it. It becomes more of a habit and that you feel good that particular way. You know, I used to always like to be back on that back foot and just let everything go.
Foul territory. Polanco gives it a look, and he gets there to make the catch. That's a fine play, and a ball that wasn't hit that high.
Boy, what a nice play as the ball slicing away from him. We talked about Polanco before having soft hands. You can do this when you have soft hands. A little snow cone. He's got his eye on it all the way, making sure he secures it. There it is again. Hello.
That guy in a blue jacket thought he had it the whole way. So 1 away. Barmas, who popped out to Wigginton his first time up, softly to center field, and Victorino got a good jump. And there are 2 outs. Well, Sarge, a lot of news going on around Major League Baseball. How about this? Ubaldo Jimenez, a 5-game suspension. He'll miss 1 start. I don't think anybody's that surprised about that. What I think a lot of people are surprised at, look at the 2 contract extensions. How about Joey Votto? 10 years, $225 million.
Wow. Boy, I tell you what, great contacts. You're looking at Matt Cain, not really even a 500 pitcher, is he?
No, he's not. Nope.
And look at the contract that he got. Boy, and then you look at Tulowitzki there getting hit, and you saw that. I don't know if you saw when they were getting ready to actually fight out there, but not good being hit by any baseball at all.
Well, Joe Blanton's night is done. We've got a pitching change. We'll tell you who's coming in right up to this. Runs in 4 2/3 innings tonight. Phillies are up 3-2. I thought he looked really good.
Right, he's under control with all of his pitches. You felt it, even the balls at the end of scoring on as he gets over to first base there. 1-3 there for scoring. But look at the movement that he has on his pitches, and that's what Joe has to do to be effective. This was really, he's going to feel good about this start there, even though he gave up those 2 runs. You would think, though, that maybe the ball, was going to fall in, but he still pitched good. Very effective on his pitches here tonight.
Well, there's his line. It's completed. Antonio Bastardo is the new pitcher for the Phillies, and he's facing Jarrett Cunningham. Swing and a miss. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
Now, the one thing you like on that stat, Joe Blanton didn't walk a bat. And you don't like giving up just free walks or putting runners on without them hitting the ball.
See Bastardo's numbers this spring. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball rolled foul by Cunningham. Cunningham's an 18th round selection by the Pirates in 2008. He's out of Spokane, Washington. Last year he was in single A in 80 games, hit 258. Pat Mish is warming in the pen for the Phillies. Might see him in the 6th inning. Oh. 1-2 the count.
That will get your attention. Ball right over the head.
Got him. So Bastardo comes out and gets the only batter that he faces here in the 5th. It turns out to be a 1-2-3 5th inning. 2 outs by Blanton, and then the final out by Antonio Bastardo as we go to the bottom of the 5th. for Business is for girls and boys ages 6 to 14. You get professional coaching and skill development from Phillies players, coaches, and baseball academy instructors. Go to philliescamps.com for more information or call 610-520-3400. Throughout the summer, there are 17 different locations that you can take advantage of. Home half of the fifth, Phillies up 3-2. Phillies scored single runs in the first, second, and third. Jason Grilli is the new pitcher for the Pirates. 9th ball game for Grilli, who started last year with the Phillies in the farm system. And it was picked up by Pittsburgh as the year went on. Played for Clint Hurdle when he was in Colorado. And he's on to face Carlos Ruiz, Freddie Galvis. And then the pitcher spot should be a pinch hitter for Antonio Bastardo. No other changes for the Pirates as we reach the bottom of the fifth. Normally at this point in spring training, the starters would get 3 at-bats at least. I don't know if that'll be the case tonight.
Well, maybe not. Again, a lot has to do with the hitter and how he's hitting. Might ask Charlie, hey, I need another at-bat if it doesn't feel very well.
Carlos takes up high.
Well, usually, though, the managers are going to be managing the way they would during the season. That's why you saw Bastardo kind of, coming in and want guys to get used to certain roles that they're going to be in.
Charlie said by tomorrow he'll have an idea of whether he's going to take one extra pitcher or not, or one extra bench player. Carlos hits it to third. It stays down on Alvarez. 1 away.
Well, that's what's so difficult, being that 25th, 26th guy. And, all the players, you know it. You would know it yourself. You're right there on the bubble. You got all of your clothing, everything here, getting ready to move into your place and still undecided, like Mr. Luna there. I think he could help the club simply because he can hit left-handed pitching especially. But it seems like they have guys that really can hit pretty good, but not good defensively, and then vice versa.
Galvis, what a beautiful bunt. Walker charging, tries to flip behind, and he can do that, Galvis. That is going to help a whole lot. That was a beauty.
Boy, it sure was, and showing the speed, but more so, though, we talked about that. When you're bunting that ball, and especially in that area, you want to make sure that that ball is by the pitcher. Well, that gives you goosebumps when you come back, and just the fans really appreciate the way that he played when he was here. One thing about the Philly fans, you don't have to play here a long time for them to respect you. You get respect on how you play when you're here and you're playing.
Well, he helped close the vet and open up this beautiful ballpark. Jim Thome makes his return to Philadelphia, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Thome has had a productive spring, only because he's hit the ball hard. His average is at .257. Been some hard outs, though.
And that's what he's looking for, just to get back into the groove of consistently tattooing the ball.
Talked to Charlie today about Thome and how much he'll play. And he said, there is something to be said for getting a player back in shape to play the field. He said, we can't let Jim break down. He said, we're going to need him. And he kind of went over how many at-bats he expects him to get. He thinks, he said if he can pick up some slack until Ryan Howard gets back and still remain healthy and get a couple hundred at-bats.
Wow.
Not as a first baseman, but combined maybe 250 or so. He'll have a good year. And he'll stay sharp, too.
Well, he'll have to, though. And what happens, though, when you play in the field and you're moving back and forth, that's when you start to have the problem. Right. As long as you're DHing coming off of the bench and going in and taking your swings, you're going to be fine. But when you're moving, you're diving at different balls down the line, you're chasing down fly balls, that's where that problem comes in on whether or not you're able to recoup that next night.
Well, Toby's down on strikes for the second out. Still gets around to the claws. Imagine the first time he goes yard here.
Oh, man.
Seriously.
I'll see, he'll go and he'll talk about that at bat. He's the type of player that has a lot of pride. Go down, study it, because again, you may have to face him during the course of the season, or not the season here, just coming weekend.
Juan Pierre has been on base twice tonight. He has scored 2 runs. And he bunts toward third. That'll go foul. When was the last time you saw a Phillies lineup where one guy bunts to get on, and then the other one, two batters later, tries to do the same thing?
Yeah, Juan Pierre knows his job is simple. He needs to score runs. The only way you can do that is by being on base there. But you notice, though, when he was trying to bunt that ball, he was going right for the line, or right by the line there. Even though that ball was bunted a little bit too hard.
Softly hit to second. Walker is there to hurry the throw. Phillies are retired here in the 5th. They do get a base runner on the bunt single by Freddie Galvis. Jim Thome makes his return. We head to the 6th. Will be back to being green. Monday, May 14th is Teva Respiratory Asthma Awareness Night, a free Phillies Liberty Bell cap for all fans. Tuesday, the 15th, is the Citizens Bank Business Person Special. And following the ball game is a Modell Sporting Goods Senior Stroll the Bases for fans 55 and over. Go to Phillies.com and purchase your tickets today. Fanatics red, Sarge.
Wow. Yeah, I do see he's red, and I think out of all the promos that you read, I think you enjoyed that one the most, on strolling the bases, as if you think I'm going to lead a charge down there. Okay?
Well, John Mayberry can't. He's not 55 or older.
Well, I mean, I've been around the bases enough. I think we got to leave it to people that
I've never done it before.
Well, yeah. Well, we might ask Brother Wills whether or not he might lead the charge. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something.
To see him with a hat on and just kind of trotting around the bases there as we see Snyder into the ball game.
And Pat Mish, a left-hander. Haven't seen Pat in a couple weeks. He just pitched in 2 games down in Clearwater. But he also pitched in the minor league ball games. See his numbers: 5 hits, 4 innings, 3 strikeouts. No other changes for the Phillies. Just Mayberry in left. In there for Juan Pierre, who got 3 at-bats. So I guess that's going to be the lay of the land. 3 at-bats for the starters tonight. At least it seems that way. Mish's first pitch to Presley. And Presley shows bunt, takes it for a strike.
I think if you talk with Charlie, he would still tell you that he's still experimenting some with the lineup. It is getting closer, however, and he's going to have a good idea of exactly what kind of lineup he wants. You know, a lot of times he'll tell the coaches, hey, everybody make 2 lineups and take a look at them. Dusty Baker used to do that. And it just gives him an idea. Obviously, he's going to make his own decision. It kind of gives him an idea what some of the other coaches are actually thinking and talking about in terms of the lineup.
2-1 the count to President. Ground ball to second. Backing up on a Galvis. 1 out. But just talking to Charlie today, when he talked about John Mayberry, Mayberry is going to get a shot. So when they talk about lineups, opening day against the lefty against Eric Bedard, I would think Mayberry is going to be in there.
Well, you would need him on a left-hander for me just for the power alone. But you're looking at Pierre as more of a kind of a contact type hitter. So it depends on what kind of hitter, though, that Charlie wants in there. I would think he won't want a guy that could hit that ball out of the ballpark.
Right, and then I think also Wigginton will be at first. So you have, more right-handed than left-handed. Because if you went with Mayberry at first and put Pierre in left against the lefty, although his numbers have been traditionally pretty good against lefties, I think he still wants the righties out there if he can.
Depends on what left-hander that it is. Obviously, when you look during the league, it would be the guys I feel that would throw a little bit softer. A Jamie Moyer where he knows that he can make some contact on. But, it's going to be a test there for Charlie. He's going to mix and match, and he'll read the different reports and come up with the best lineup.
Toughest challenge for him, you think, this year? Trying to figure out where to fill in until Chase and Ryan get back?
Oh, no doubt, and especially just in terms of where they're going to be able to hit the lineup. But that Galvis, let me tell you something, he can pick it. He's kind of got gold written all over him, as you see a little bit smile there and smile there from Chase Utley.
Well, that was a heck of a play by Freddie Galvis. We've been watching it all spring, and he's been able to do that.
And then coming from shortstop to be able to go to second base, it's altogether a different throw. It just shows you what a good athlete this young kid is.
So 2 outs here in the 6th. Andrew McCutchen, the batter, and he takes inside. 1 ball and no strikes. McCutchen tonight is 0 for 2. He's grounded out. He's struck out. This may be his final at bat of the night. See some changes for the Pirates, possibly in the bottom of the 6th.
He's actually one of those hitters, though. If you usually can keep him from not getting any hits, you got a pretty good chance to win the ball game. This guy's got a pretty good running game in terms of balls hit in the gap, knowing exactly what to do. Good baseball instincts McCutchen has.
Off the end of the bat, it's full, 3-2. Mike Estabrook yells foul as loud as he can. And it remains 3-2.
Like those Pirate uniforms?
They're bright. I like them, though. Ball's hit pretty well. Mayberry going back to the warning track, to the wall. Will it stay in the yard? He leaps, and it is gone. Right into the flower bed, and this ball game is tied up at 3. I wasn't sure if it had enough. On a lot of days, it would have enough, definitely. I wasn't sure about today.
Well, he's a guy, again, though, one of their better players on this team. The reason why he is hitting in that 3rd spot. Gives you power, gives you speed. See Mayberry getting back and just trying to leap up there. Yeah, not going to be able to get up that high to get it.
No, it's a little fence on top of it. So it's a 3-3 game.
So
Neil Walker's the batter.
It was so high, I didn't think it was actually going to.
Thought the wind would bring it back.
Well, a little bit, or at least push it toward the other way. He's a pretty strong hitter, though.
4th home run of the spring for McCutchen.
He's had a good spring. That's the kind of spring that you want. We talked about it before, how you want to continue to hit that ball hard.
Jimmy all-in-one motion takes care of Walker. The Pirates tie it up, though. Here at the top of the 6th on a home run by Andrew McCutchen. Placido Polanco will lead it off when we return. Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEFF-NOW for an appointment. Now, bottom of the 6th inning, all evened up at 3. Phillies have had a lot of close games this spring. They had 5 extra inning ball games. Here's Chris Resop, and he'll take over for the Pirates. That face Placido Polanco, Jimmy Rollins, Hunter Pence. See Resop's numbers this spring. 8th ball game, 1-1, a 4.00 earned run average for Pittsburgh. Phillies and the Pirates will play one more time tomorrow. There are seats still available for tomorrow's ball game. If you want to come out and check out the yard, see the Phils before opening day. We mentioned that this has become kind of a tradition for the Phillies to open up the season with kind of an on-deck series against somebody. And the fans love it. I mean, they get themselves loosened up, get themselves ready for the regular season. And it's happened for years around Major League Baseball. A lot of times, Major League teams will play their minor league affiliate before they start the season.
Used to do that all the time just to get that affiliate kind of juiced up for the season.
Placido Polanco leads it off. And there's a strike. Before interleague play, the Dodgers will play the Angels. Yankees will play the Mets. The list goes on and on. Play your AAA affiliate.
Used to do that quite a bit, though. Play the any minor league team. Usually was the AAA team, and usually you would go to their particular ballpark, and you would have a full house.
Do like a home run derby beforehand, stuff like that.
Sometimes they end up doing that. A lot of times, though, the major league guys don't want to be involved in those type of contests for whatever reason against the minor leaguers. You got, have nothing to gain by winning, everything to lose. Let's face it.
Inside 2-1. Did you ever participate in one of those home run contests?
I had a home run contest in Denver, Colorado, when I was with the Cubs. We were playing the Milwaukee Brewers against Gorman Thomas, their fourth hitter. And we had a good time then, too, though. But that's when they didn't have that regular baseball park. But I got to tell you, the ball went a long, long ways there. And it was more of a football type of stadium.
That was Old Mile High.
When we were playing. And I just remember the ball going a long ways.
Polanco shoots it the opposite way for a base hit. That's his first hit of the night. He's aboard to start the 6th.
boy, he can hit that ball to the right side. Like to see that, and like to see balls that are hit up the middle and driving it. And you know, when Polanco's hitting the ball the other way, he's getting good extension, and his body's feeling pretty good.
Here's Rollins, who has 2 RBIs tonight. He was cut down trying to stretch a double into a triple his last time up. And he bunts back toward the mound. Rysop off the hill. He slips for a moment, but still gets Polanco. And 1 away. Hey, get Total Phillies opening day coverage on Comcast Sportsnet. At 1, warm up with reports from Pittsburgh on Phillies pregame live. After the game, close it out with Ricky Bo's analysis plus team reactions on Phillies postgame live. Total Phillies Pirates opening day coverage starting Thursday at 1 on Comcast Sportsnet. Sarge, you got anything you're looking forward to for the Phillies this year? Anything that stands out as we get ready for opening day?
Well, hoping that we don't see any more bunts like that from Jimmy Rollins, especially with that score at 3-3. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. If you are going to bunt, you got to make sure it's down on one of those lines. And for me, I'd rather take a chance on him driving that ball or in the gap, especially with nobody out. You know, and I know what they're saying. Well, you can't have it both ways, but you know, J-Ro's the type of player for me. I mean, he can bunt the ball, yes, but the score tied right now and being able to hit the ball out of the ballpark, wind blowing out the right field, I want to see him swing the bat.
Jimmy flinched a little bit. The ball gets away. Rollins will get to second. Regular season, he might have put some pressure on the Pirates to maybe go to third.
Sure, he will. He would have done that during the season. But, I mean, for me, during the season, just looking forward to, with the consistency of being able to get the guy over and to get him in, taking some pressure off of the pitchers, trying to maybe score a little bit earlier. That's what I'd like to see, that day in and day out kind of baseball where you're doing and playing baseball the way it should. Obviously, you need the defense. More importantly, though, being able to get that runner at second base and having good at-bats. Whether or not you get the hit or not, having solid at-bats from top to bottom.
Hunter Pence, the hitter, and the count there's no count right now with 1 out and a runner at second. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Is there an individual that you're looking forward to seeing play this year for a full season?
Well, I had spoke both with J-Ro and also with Shane Victorino and saying that it is important for those two guys to stay healthy, thinking that if they can give us maybe 35 to 40 doubles, whatever they have home run wise, hey, that's more gravy, you would think.
Rollins took off with the count 0-1 and Pence fouls it away.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Mike Smith and I mean, if somebody's on second and they're stealing, we got 1 strike on us. Looks like they got a good jump. Guess what? We don't mind hitting with 2 strikes to be able to get that RBI in. But that's the confidence that you got to have. And then as the hitter, you got that play right in front of you. So you can see the jump that runner gets. But again, for Hunter Pence, that fastball, he's swinging at it just about almost any place that it is.
Pickoff play is on. Rollins is back. 0-2 the count.
Looking forward to seeing that Galvis be able to play day in and just see how he's going to do after playing in the minor leagues and playing there in Double-A, and just kind of seeing how he's going to be able to react on a daily basis and knowing that most of the time he's going to be in that lineup.
Well, I would think being around the team the whole spring and showing off his defensive ability.
Oh, yeah.
That's helpful for him.
Oh, no doubt. There's no doubt. I mean, he has a lot of confidence in terms of his defense.
I mean, some guys come to the major leagues and they may not have 100% confidence in one aspect of their game, but he seems to.
Let me tell you, you don't want that ball coming to you. It's going to come to you just about all the time. So you want to make sure that you can play good defense.
A couple pickoff attempts over at second base. 0-2 the count.
Yeah, gets a chance to see the pickoff move. They'll have Pete McCannon there and making sure that he's looking at the different counts when they're doing this.
Well, Pence down on strikes. 2 outs here in the 6th.
That's why you don't like to give away a lot of secrets when you're getting ready to play a team. And Fighting Phils are going to be doing that over the weekend there with Pittsburgh Pirates.
Well, now it's up to Victorino. His average of the spring is up over 300 now because of his triple earlier in the game. Came back in the 2nd, grounded out the 3rd his last time up. If he hits it to the same spot he hit it to last time, it may go through for a hit.
Oh, yeah, that'd be definitely right in the hole.
1-0 the count.
You know, one of the things for Victorino, he's been hitting the ball that's been down in the zone. So for me, and Greg Gross, hitting coach, talked about it, he wants both not only Victorino, but Jimmy Rollins to stay off of that high fastball. The low fastball and low pitches, he's had a lot more success in getting the good part of the bat on the ball.
Sounded like he broke his bat on that one. Barmes ventures back, makes the catch, and the Phillies leave one in scoring position. We've played 6. Sarge, see you on opening day.
Sounds good.
We'll go to the 7th.
Good start today when he hits his double to left field right in front of Presley. Actually went off his glove. Then he steals a bag. That was second time he got on. And then Jimmy Rollins hit this ball down the right field line. Looked like a changeup. Tried to stretch it into a triple. Was thrown out, but Pierre trotted home with a run. McCutchen, boy, he hit a ball that high into the wind tonight. You really didn't think you're going to see too many home runs go out that way. He crushed that thing. And it's time for our game summary. You see the Phillies threw up that picket fence in the first 3, and Pirates have come back to tie the game. Juan Pierre with a leadoff double, and he continues to play well. Joe Bland had a good outing here tonight. I thought he had really good stuff.
He went 4 2/3. He wound up allowing a couple of runs, but his movement was good. His placement was good. Now Garrett Jones will lead it off against Pat Mish. They're at the top of the 7th, 3-3 ball game. Have some changes for the Phillies, which we'll get to momentarily. 1-1 the count to Jones. Jones tonight is 1 for 2. He doubled homer run his last time up. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Lance Nix takes over in left field for the Phillies. John Mayberry moves from left to center. And Scott Podsednik is now in right field. Little looper down the right field line, foul. Hector Luna will bat in the 2-hole. He's over at third base. Freddie Galvis moves from second over to short. Pete Orr will take over at second base. He's batting third. And that's it for now. Remains 1-2. Looks like Mish is going to pitch at least this inning here because there's nobody warming up, at least at the moment. Phillies started Joe Blanton. Then Antonio Bastardo came on. And Mish started the 6th inning. Another foul ball. And it remains 1-2. When the Phillies open up against the Pirates on Thursday, Garrett Jones will probably be in the starting lineup since Roy Halladay will pitch. He most likely is going to split time with Casey McGee over at first.
Yeah, platoon, perfect platoon. One left-handed hitter, one right-handed hitter. McGee, the right-handed hitter.
Yeah, so the infield is pretty well set for the Pirates to start opening day. Jones / McGee over at first. Walker at second. Barmes at short. And Alvarez at third. And Clint Hurdle said there's no thought of moving Alvarez off third and putting McGee there to start the year. They're going to give him a shot.
Yeah, not to start the year because they have to find out about it. Sooner or later, he's either got to make it or not.
2-2 the count to Jones. Pete Orr challenged for the first time. You know, for the Phillies players, this is their first night back here at Citizens Bank Park on this new surface, and it'll be interesting to see what their reaction is to it. It looks gorgeous. I mean, it looks unbelievable.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays. You know, whether it's quick, whether it's in between, whether it's slow. The one good thing about it, of course, with the mild weather we had up here for a while, it was able to take root. And, you know, they don't have to worry about a lot of divots, things like that happen.
Rod Barajas, the hitter. Victorino's taking care of him both times. One ball and one strike to count. What do you think, Wheels? Can the Pirates finish over 500 this year?
Well, when you look at it, they're going to have to have a lot of things go right. You know, starting with Alvarez being able to play, and if they can get their pitching straightened out the way that it was last year.
That one's not deep, or tries to give it a look, but it's over his head. A little flare single.
They're headed in the right direction, and Clint Hurdle is a tremendous guy to help them get there. But as I said, a lot of things have to go right for them.
Well, a lot of questions about a number of National League teams, the Pirates being one, and one of Clint Hurdle's teams when he was a player, the New York Mets, being the other. The Mets will be here in Philadelphia Monday, May 7th for a 3-game series. That's their second trip in the first month and a half of the season. Tuesday the 8th is the Asian Pacific celebration going on here at the ballpark. Go to Phillies.com, check out the upcoming schedule against matchups between the Phillies and everybody else in the National League East.
Everybody counting the Mets out in the division, you know, talking about how tough the division is going to be and how many teams could be involved and all that. And you know, you have to go along with that. But to me, the Mets are still going to be a team that in a series could give you a problem. They have some good players on that team.
Here's Pedro Alvarez.
And whether they can pitch well enough in their rotation. Dickey gives the Phillies a lot of trouble. I like Neese. I think he should be better than he is. A Santana back.
Starting opening day.
Yeah, Pelfrey's a guy, you know, that's the enigma. You know, he just continues to struggle.
0-2 the count to Alvarez. Softly hit towards second. Or can they turn two? Let's see. Galvis looked like he had trouble getting out of his hand. I don't know if they would have gotten two anyway. They would have been close.
He was trying to get away from the runner. And then let's see what happens with the throw then, because see, he's trying to avoid the runner. just something out of his hand. I mean, he got the ball out of the glove, a pretty good exchange. It's just like he never had a grip on. We were talking earlier about pitchers, how slippery the ball can be, and when it's cold. Same thing with the fielder sometimes.
2 outs. Here's Barmes. Barmes takes strike 1. Hitless at 2 at bats. He's popped out to first, and he's flied out. One and one the count. We showed the news and notes before. Johan Santana will start for the Mets. We also showed Ubaldo Jimenez being suspended for 5 games.
Oh, was he?
And fined an undisclosed amount for his altercation yesterday with Troy Tulowitzki.
Former teammates.
Good changeup, 1 and 2. We also showed the Joey Votto deal.
What happened there?
10 years.
Oh my.
$220 million. Wow. That's a lot of money. 10 years.
This industry, sometimes you just shake your head.
Oh boy. Pete Orr will take care of Clip Barmes. So Mish pitches a scoreless 7th inning. He allows a run in 2 innings of work. Time to stretch for the first time here at Citizens Bank Park. Sixers in the Heat, and the Rangers-Flyers matchup as well. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night, presented by Toyota. Later on at 10, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Nice crowd came out tonight for this ball game. Very cool temperatures, windy, and they've watched the Phillies and the Pirates pull even at 3 apiece as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. New pitcher for the Pirates is one of their minor league guys, Ryan Beckman, 6'4", 200 pounds. Last year, he was an A-ball for 46 games, 42 of them in Bradenton. Had 11 saves. Comes from the same community college as Adam LaRoche and Danny Darwin. Yamaika Navarro is the new shortstop. You just saw him. It's the only change defensively for the Pirates aside from the pitcher. Ty Wigginton leads it off. Wigginton and then Brian Schneider. Freddie Galvis. Wigginton takes outside. It's 1-0.
Extreme pull defense for Wigginton, who did play for the Pirates.
And he pulls it towards shortstop. Nice play by Navarro. Not the best of throws, but there's not much he could do.
See, that's a routine ground ball to short.
Sure was.
We just talked about that the extreme pull defense they had on him there. So as a result, Navarro had to go a long way and make a spectacular play. Look where this ball's hit. That is right at where the shortstop normally plays a right-handed hitter, except they were into that pull defense, and well, he couldn't get much on that.
Ball moved pretty good along that Bermuda grass.
Yeah, it was scooting a little bit.
Here's Brian Schneider with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Schneider 250 this spring. One of the longer home runs in Clearwater this spring. Up the first base line. That'll stay fair. Garrett Jones will take care of Schneider. Up to second goes Wigginton. And one gone for Galvis. I mentioned the Phillies will be back here again tomorrow against the Pirates. James McDonald against Cole Hamels. Hamels' his final tune-up before he'll start the home opener. Pretty good honor for him. There's been buzz all around baseball today because of Matt Cain's contract. Cole is obviously a free agent after this year. He is way over a 500 pitcher compared to Cain. Galvis fouls it away. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. How about this bunt, Wheels?
Yeah, this was nice. Little drag bunt here. Bunting for a base hit all the way. Nice technique. Get it by the pitcher. First baseman's way back. Didn't expect it. And once you get it by the pitcher, then the only player can make it. Second baseman, Walker, tried a little behind the back pass there. Not in time.
He does that again here. He can get another base hit because Walker's back obviously at second. 2-1 the count. Mayberry, by the way, is the next hitter. We're waiting for the adjustments to the lineup. Mayberry is in the 9 hole. Mish is in the leadoff spot. We originally had said that Mish was in a different spot, but they just made the correction. Toward right center field, and McCutcheon's not going to get it. It's going to go to the wall, and the Phillies will take the lead. Galvis can run. He's on his way to third. Walker's throw to third, not in time. It's an RBI triple. Well, the Philly fans are going to like the bunt base hit for Galvis, but they're loving the triple.
Yeah, he hit that ball hard, too, because it started to hook once it got out there. They're playing him in left center field, figure he's not going to pull. You know, when he hits the ball hard, it's usually something down in the zone. There was another look at it, and it started to hook away from McCutcheon. And Freddie, that's an obvious triple for him in that spot. You may as well get down to. Let the heck slide. It's a lot easier to, less chance to get hurt.
But now the Phillies have a chance to add another one. With the infield in, Mayberry's the hitter here in the bottom of the 7th. Just 1 out, so a fly ball would give the Phils a 2-run lead.
We like to see Mayberry have a good at bat here and get this run in.
Takes a strike on the first pitch. It's 0-1. John hit his first home run, his only home run in spring training during the last home game at Bright House Field.
Up throwing a lot of breaking balls. His out pitch. It's not Reese.
That's Beckman.
Yeah, I'm looking at him. He's throwing like Reese up with curveballs because he always had a really good curve. I forgot the new pitcher every inning right now.
Got the youngster checking out there, Wheels.
Pretty soon we'll be able to bear down better. Oh, these breaking balls he's throwing here.
Everybody that's watching back in Fort Worth, Texas, is saying, I thought that was Beckman.
It is. Sorry. It's your guy.
2-1 the count. Well, he got a fly ball, but it's not going to be deep enough to score Galvis. Walker battling the wind makes the catch. And there are 2 outs.
Kind of jammed himself there.
So Mayberry's retired and a pinch hitter for the Phils. Oh, no, check that. Mish is going to bat. Lou Montañez was in the on-deck circle, but they've called him back with 2 outs.
Yeah, well, obviously, there's John who wasn't able to get the run in. They just want Mish to pitch and not have to use too many more guys out of the bullpen tonight. 3 for 39 in his major league career.
He's due, Wheels.
With a ribby. He keeps throwing him that hook. He's still going to be due.
That may have been the pitch you would like back right there.
Yeah, that was a fastball. 89. I'll get the radar back tonight.
Little number foul. Well, no balls and 2 strikes. Breaking ball and a called strike 3 right on the inside part of the plate. So Mish is rung up, but the Phillies retake the lead. They do so on an RBI triple from Freddie Galvis. We go to the 8th. Know who you're going to see or who might sing to you at Citizens Bank Park when you come to a ball game. There's J-Roll.
Happy birthday, dear Matthew. Happy birthday to
you. Well, the man is an entertainer, isn't he?
Likes to sing, too.
What a thrill for Matthew.
That's pretty cool.
That is great. They thought they were just going to soak in a cool night here at Citizens Bank Park. One of 2 spring training games left. And Jimmy Rollins gets a chance to sing happy birthday to him.
He just needs to work on his personality a little bit. You know,
that's awesome.
He's so introverted.
That is awesome. Look at cell phones, Wills. Wills, get your cell phone out. Take a picture.
That's pretty neat. That's Jimmy.
Well, and that's what the on-deck series has been like for these last couple of years. Look at Murph. Murph got some confetti on him. Murph, you got some confetti going there, buddy boy?
Got a little confetti in the hair, guys. I'll tell you what, Jimmy Rollins did not just come down here and make this young man's day. He had Matthew, right, turning 9 years old. How about that? Jimmy Rollins paying you a visit. Pretty good birthday present, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty exciting. Did you know that was going to happen? Was it a surprise for you? So you're turning 9 years old, and one of your favorite baseball players sings you happy birthday. Can we top that?
Yeah.
I don't think we're topping that. Mom and Dad, I'm assuming, right? Pretty nice thrill, huh?
Yeah, I was pretty shocked.
Pretty good stuff. And you know what? Jimmy really sold it, didn't he?
He really did. It's just, I'm really surprised. Oh, my God. That's Matthew's favorite player. That's awesome.
There you have it. The Phillies shortstop. He can play a little shortstop. He can also sing. Got the whole crowd riled up, guys.
That's pretty sweet, Murph. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. 6-3 on the putout. Yamaiko Navarro is retired. And there's one away here in the top of the 8th. Look at now a shot with Murph. I mean, what's better than, having a birthday,
Happy birthday.
getting a chance to have Jimmy Rollins sing happy birthday to you, and then Murph gets a photo with you.
Boy, 10's got to be a letdown. That's amazing.
Yeah, really. Mom and Dad are really got to figure out how to top the 9th birthday, aren't they? How?
You're a parent. Where do you go from that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That's pretty good.
Here's Casey McGee to pinch hit for the Pirates. And it's 1 ball and no strike. Casey McGee last year with the Milwaukee Brewers had a down year after having 100 RBIs the year before. This spring he hit .302.
That changeup missed through right there. We've seen him, a number of times when he's with the New York Mets, and he could get hitters to swing a changeup, especially right-handed batters. He could fool them.
The other thing, too, Wheels, is that his velocity has been 88, 89 with his fastball, which,
Yeah, he'd never
that
been
one
a guy.
was at 85.
Yeah, he'd never been a guy that threw real hard. Looked like he cut that one a little bit.
There's a liner to left field that'll drop in for a hit for McGee. This makes the game so great. McGee nearly corkscrewed himself into the ground earlier in the at bat. Looked like he was way off balance and then comes up with a knock.
Well, he got a fastball. He's saying, I don't want to swing at that changeup. I don't like that thing. Get a runner for him, looks like.
Yep. So Casey McGee is one and done. Robbie Grossman's going to come on to pinch run for him. So Grossman's in the ball game. Check that man's ID, Wheels.
Looks young, doesn't he?
Does look young. And the hitter is Jose Tabata. And that's strike 1. Over to second base, maybe 2. Tabata runs well. There's 1, and there's 2. 4-6-3 double play. Nice start by Orr. Great turn by Galvis. And the side is retired. Boy, the inning began with a splash and a song from Jimmy Rollins, and it ends with a double play. brought to you by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Well, it's been a fun night here at the ballpark, if only because the Phillies have returned home to South Philadelphia. They lead it 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Hector Luna will lead it off for the Phillies. It'll be Luna, Orr, and Lance Nix. And the first pitch from Beckman is inside. 1 ball and no strikes. See, Luna's spring. We've been talking about him all spring. Just what he's done with the bat. He's won some games. Grounds one foul, and it's 1-1. Whether he's on the roster or not, well, it remains to be seen. It all depends whether they want an extra right-handed bat off the bench, whether they're going to keep one extra pitcher or not. There's a lot that's going into it.
Yeah, make that decision by Wednesday.
If 4 p.m. Is it 4 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday? I think that's when they have to make the decision. 1 away, 5-3 on the putout. There have been years where Charlie's had open roster spots as the spring is closed out. And, you know, for all we know, he doesn't have any in his mind. But I think he does. I think there's still some tinkering.
Well, you know, in a lot of ways, if a guy's going to be on their ball club, they like to tell him. You know, because a lot of times it's a guy that's a thrill to make the club at the end of spring training. And they really do have some decisions to make here.
Here's Pete Orr. Orr takes a strike. It's 0-1.
These guys all battle so hard to get to the major leagues. You know, a lot of them are, you know, they'll come in as 6-year free agents, non-roster players, and then here they are this close. They can just taste it. And then, you know, maybe they're one of the final cuts. And it's always, these are some of the toughest ones for management and managers.
There's Kyle Kendrick firing away in the pen. Looks like he'll pitch the 9th inning. Lance Nix waiting on deck. Good changeup. 1-2 the count. Off the end of the bat, Navarro. Well, he took his time, and it nearly cost him. I mean, Pete Orr still can run. He's retired 6-3 on the putout. 2 outs here in the 8th.
Now he hustles out of the box, and Pete Orr is a plus runner. As Tom said, you know, if you're a young player and you don't know the opposition and their strengths and weaknesses, you don't think a guy's going to be able to run like that coming out of the box.
So now 2 outs. Here's Lance Nix. For the first time tonight. 208 down in Florida. No homers, 4 runs batted in. One ball, no strikes the count to him. People wonder, Charlie Manuel's alluded to Juan Pierre getting some more time. Maybe more time than people expected at the beginning of the spring. Where would that leave Lance Nix against right-handers? Well, pretty good chance it leaves him over at first base because he's a good defensive first baseman. And Pierre has had a pretty good run of late.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see because Nix hadn't played a whole lot of first base, and they were, you know, they're trying him out down there, and he said it was a new experience for him.
And they like his actions, though.
And the worst thing that happens is he gives you a good left-handed hitter on the bench.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Nix. Outside, 2-2.
I've seen him a lot now in spring training, and this guy really wants to hit fastballs too. So the opposition's going to throw him a lot of change-ups and breaking balls. But you miss in his happy zone with a fastball, and he hits it hard.
And he was fooled, and he's rung up for the final out here in the 8th inning. So the Phillies go down in order here in the bottom of the 8th. We go on to the 9th inning. Kyle Kendrick possibly trying to close things out. the ninth inning here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies have had some real tight games, particularly at home down at Bright House Field this year in the spring. So now Kyle Kendrick will try to close the door on the Pirates here in the top of the ninth.
They've been rather real extra inning machines on these telecasts.
How about yesterday? Phillies were up 7-1. That game wound up being tied. Now we didn't do that game.
That was Larry and Scott's fault yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Although they claimed it was our fault because when we arrived it was a 7-1 lead.
When we showed up.
So Kendrick, 6 games now. This is his 6th, a 1.69 earned run average. And he'll face Andrew McCutchen to start things off. McCutchen tied it the last time the Phillies had a lead with a solo home run. McCutchen rounding out what has turned out to be a good spring for him. He picked up a long-term contract extension from the Pirates as well.
A lot of talent. And he's being paid that way.
0-1 the count. 0-2 the count.
Pretty good outfielder, too. Not pretty good. A good outfielder. Can throw, cover a lot of ground.
Not sure if Kyle Kendrick's role is defined totally yet, but it looks like he will start the year as the Phillies' long man / spot starter. They are not afraid, though, to use him later in the game if they need to. And that's a good thing for Kyle and for everybody else.
Well, they feel that he has more weapons now to compete. And so that they do have more confidence in him. And I think he has more confidence in his own abilities.
And one just missed, and now it's full 3-2.
Throwing a couple sinkers that just missed. I don't know that he'd go any kind of off-speed pitcher. 3-2. We'll see. Fastball away. It looked like Brian called. They want him to throw that little comeback sinker, and probably got a little bit too much of the plate that he wanted.
So it remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. That foul ball went right past Nick Leyva in the third base coach's box.
Still makes his home in the area. It's been kind of nice for him.
Liner to center field. It's going to float right out to John Mayberry. 1 gone here at the top of the 9th inning. Well, so the Phillies will see a lot of the Pirates over the next week or so, and here are the matchups for this opening weekend. Roy Halladay against Eric Bedard, Cliff Lee against Jeff Karstens on Saturday night, and then Vance Worley against James McDonald on Sunday. That's why I was surprised that the Pirates would throw.
Yeah, he's on schedule, but your point being there's Roy Halladay that, you know, why would you let you look at him? But Tuesday to Sunday he's right on schedule.
Yep. Walker on the hands. Freddie Galvis will track it down. 2 outs.
That looked like he cut that one in on his hands too, and that's been one of the things that's really helped Kyle a lot. The left-handed hitters who used to hit him a lot harder. See if he doesn't cut this, because it looked like it really moved. Yeah, there it is. I mean, it was up a little bit, but it's above his hands. And left-handed hitters, the ball above their hands, they don't handle it very well, as opposed to the one below their hands.
So 2 outs. Here's Garrett Jones. That ball is crushed deep to right center field. Pasetnik going back, and he's going to make the catch. The wind kept it in the yard. Wow. On another night, this game could be tied here at the top of the 9th. But instead, that's the ball game. Scott Pasetnik makes the catch right at the base of the wall. Garrett Jones denied the game-tying home run, and the Phillies win the first of 2 for this on-deck series.
Yeah, this ball looked like it's a home run because this guy's strong too. And I see the difference. The ball was down where a left-handed hitter likes it, but it just got knocked down by that wind out there. and the game's over. Right there, these guys, they're rooting for their buddy. Tie the game up. And when that ball left the bat, they said, oh, that thing is way out of here.
Sounded like it was.
Well, I think it was. But it wasn't.
I think it was, but it wasn't.
Right.
Well, so the Phillies win it 4-3. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Phillies. Juan Pierre scored a couple runs. Energized the Phils from the top of the order. Freddie Galvis played exceptionally well defensively at second base and shortstop. He also drove in the go-ahead run with an RBI triple to right center field. They're still talking about it.
Garrett Jones is still saying, how'd that park hold that? I can't hit it better than that.
Well, sometimes the wind is in the favor of a team. Said that Freddie Galvis had a nice night tonight. He's down on the field with Murph. Murph, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Yeah, he did have a good night. 2 hits, an RBI triple early in the game. You looked very comfortable up at the plate. How do you feel?
I feel good, so far. I've been working hard every day in the K. Good thing happened. Right now I'm feeling good. Try to keep working and, I get better.
This is your first time playing here at Citizens Bank Park, and you look good tonight. You look like you belong. How does it feel playing in front of this crowd in this ballpark?
I feel really good. Play in this stadium. I love it. It's my first day, and I love it. The first time I'm being in a stadium like that, so I'm good at it. I like this stadium.
All right, Freddie, it was a good night. Thank you very much. A good night, one we expect of quite a few. Tom, send it back upstairs.
Absolutely, Murph. We appreciate it very much. The Phillies win it 4-3. We'll be back to talk a little more about it.